Hey everybody, this is your Battle Buddy Mac Fergus, bringing you another video about Texas military awards. This one's going to be focused on the Texas State Guard Service Medal. And what happened here is the same thing that happened with my other video on the Texas Humanitarian Service Ribbon, in that it was meant to be a small part of a bigger video, but it kept growing and growing, and I kept going deeper and deeper down a rabbit hole to where the small part started to completely take over the entire video. So I've decided to cut that bit out of the bigger video and be a video all unto itself. So as you see from the title, I assert with great confidence that the Texas State Guard Service Medal, as seen here, is not a Texas State Guard medal. And what I'm going to do is explain my rationale. I'm going to look at the pertinent regulations for awards, both the Texas State Guard award regulation and the Texas Military Department award regulation. Those are two different regulations. And I'm probably going to be tempted to veer into a little bit of tough love for everyone, in that after we've looked at this and after we've looked at the regulations, you're probably going to slowly realize that if you have purchased a Texas State Guard Service Medal in the last year or so, and it wasn't from me, and it didn't originate from the J1 at Building 8 on Camp Mabry, the medal you bought is probably, less importantly, low quality, but more importantly, wildly out of the regulations. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. Stick with me. Let's go to the Texas State Guard regulation for awards. And while we're there, let's do a search for Texas State Guard Service Medal in the Texas State Guard awards regulation. What do we see? We see 1 out of 1, and it's in the glossary. But what if we do the abbreviation for Texas State Guard and just do TXSG? Maybe that'll bring something up. Oh, there's 2. One is in the appendix on the award precedents. And for some reason in the Texas State Guard regulation, the Texas State Guard Service Medal, which you get for 3 years of service, is below the Texas State Guard Good Conduct Medal, which you get for 2 years of service. While we're on the topic, the Texas Faithful Service Medal, which you get for 5 years of service, is also below the Texas State Guard Good Conduct Medal, which you get for 2. So just an interesting thing to point out. Why, I'm not sure. If you know why, by all means put it in the comments, but I wasn't invited to this meeting to do the awards regulation. If I had been, it would look very different. So there's the 1 of 2, so maybe the second one tells us all about the Texas State Guard Service Medal. But no, it's in a chart saying who the awarding authorities are. Interestingly enough, it says the Texas State Guard Service Medal is for 5 years, and the Texas Faithful Service Medal is for 3, and you only get 1. That is very wrong. It is reversed. It is, in fact, the Texas State Guard Service Medal is for 3 years, and you get it once, and the Faithful Service is for 5 years, and there's multiple ones. So it seems as if the Texas State Guard award regulation itself doesn't have time for the Texas State Guard Service Medal. It barely mentions it. But if we look at the Texas Military Department Regulation 1-07, which is for the entire Texas military forces, and you search for Texas State Guard Service Medal, what do you get? You get a description of how you earn the Texas State Guard Service Medal. And then the next is a full description of the Texas State Guard Service Medal to include very intricate details of what the medallion looks like. They call it the pendant in here. The most interesting part to me is the description of the ribbon. You'll find that most of the awards used in the United States, to include the federal awards and the state of Texas awards, the ribbon drape is prescribed specifically to be 1 3/8 inch long and 1 3/8 inches wide. When you do a miniature medal, you still do the same length, but you do half of the width. So that's how you'll know. Super interesting is that you'll always see on the regulations for ribbons that there's going to be a moire ribbon. All of these other ones, if I just do a search in the National Guard Award regulation just for moire, you'll see there's 18 matches, and each one describes how that one needs it. The Cold War medal requires a moire ribbon. All of these. So it's pretty consistent, and you can check the U.S. Army awards too. It's the same thing. It specifies moire ribbons. So, point of order, not only in my opinion is the Texas State Guard Service Medal not a Texas State Guard award, it's unique in that it must have a certain kind of ribbon. So if you got a secondhand Texas State Guard Service Medal from somewhere, and the ribbon is made of a cheap material or any substandard thing that is not a silk moire ribbon, then technically I would say you're out of regulations. In addition to the problem with the ribbon not having the moire pattern on it, I'm not sure what to call these other ones. Should I call them imposter ribbons or Frankenstein ribbons? I'm not sure. But these ones that don't have the moire pattern also don't follow the regulation in the size. As you saw, and I showed you, the size of the ribbon should be 1 3/8 inches wide and 1 3/8 inches long. The one on the left you can see is proportional. The one on the right you can see, even if you don't measure it exactly, you can see it's out of proportion. It's not the same. And the other problem is, I showed it on the screen, but I didn't point it out. The red, white, and blue stripes on the Texas State Guard Service Medal in the Texas Military Department regulation says that they are 3/32 of an inch wide, which if you're using a ruler, not a lot of rulers have, or tape measures have down to 32 of an inch. If you hold it up to a ruler that shows the 1/8 of an inch, it's about 3/4 of the way from the beginning to the first 1/8 of an inch. Or if you flip it over and you want to go to the dark side and use metric, it should be just barely less than 2.5 millimeters. So I encourage everyone to look at your Texas State Guard Service Medal ribbon, especially if you got it issued to you recently from the Texas State Guard, because they bought a bunch of these while they were buying the actual Texas State Guard ribbons, which is the topic of my other video that this splintered off of. But even though this is not, in my opinion, a Texas State Guard medal, I believe it's a Texas Military Department medal from the evidence previously shown. But as I was saying, I saw that they ordered a bunch of these along with the Texas State Guard medals, and those Texas State Guard medals in the regulation doesn't specify the type of material. It doesn't specify the length and width of the ribbon, none of those kinds of things. So it seems like the willy-nilly nature of the Texas State Guard medals that got ordered got lumped in with this medal order. So I encourage you, if you do have one of these ribbons like you see on the right, go ahead and pause my video and take a tape measure to it. Is it 1 3/8 inches wide, the ribbon? Is it 1 3/8 inches long? Are the red, white, and blue stripes 3/32 of an inch wide? My guess is probably none of those. So in pretty much every category, the ribbon of the Texas State Guard Service Medal that has been going out from the Texas State Guard just doesn't follow any of the rules, which is unusual, seeing as how especially this one should be adhered to, since it is not in the Texas State Guard Awards regulation, other than in the glossary and in the appendix it shows the order of precedence. Oh yeah, in the third place where it says it's a 5-year medal when it's not a 5-year medal. So I would advise everyone to focus on what is in the Texas Military Department regulation for this medal. And for those other State Guard medals, by all means, use the Texas State Guard regulation and follow the guidelines listed in there for those, but not for this one. So in summary, I'm lumping this in as a Texas Military Department medal, especially because it's so old. It has been around, an older version of it has been around since the 40s. The more recent version of them, I think, came about in the 70s. But this is old compared to these Texas State Guard medals that just came out, and I think 2021-ish, around that time frame. If you know the exact date, put it in the comments so that I'll know. But that's why this video is splintered. You can see that it's several minutes long, and it is a rather deep dive into what is and what isn't a Texas State Guard Service Medal. And I hope that after you check out the medal that you have, if it is not up to standard, if it is not up to the regulations, that you'll get one that is within the standard, because it's not worth saving a few dollars to not look your best. All right. Thanks to everyone for joining me for this video. I hope you'll like the video if it was helpful, and I hope you'll subscribe to my channel so that you can see all my other videos about Texas military awards. Thanks, y'all. Mac Fergus out.